Welcome to Health 2660. Here we don't just talk about health, we tell the stories that heal. Now please listen to the story. David, a man of 63 years, had always considered himself a picture of suburban contentment. Retirement had been kind, offering him the leisure to tend to his meticulously kept garden, to indulge in his passion for classic literature, and most importantly, to spend quality time with his beloved wife Eleanor. Their life and its comfortable predictability was a tapestry woven with familiar routines and quiet joys. David, a retired accountant, was meticulous by nature, a trait that extended from his professional life into his personal habits. He kept precise records of his expenses. His library was organized alphabetically and by genre, and even his daily schedule followed a comforting rhythm. This dedication to order, however, hadn't quite translated to his dietary choices. While not overtly unhealthy, his diet was, in retrospect, a slow accumulation of less than ideal habits, a collection of small compromises made over decades. He enjoyed his sweets, particularly after-dinner cookies, with a cup of tea, a ritual he found immensely soothing. He favored processed foods for their convenience, often opting for prepackaged meals and snacks oblivious to the hidden sugars and refined carbohydrates lurking within their ingredient lists. He wasn't a heavy drinker, perhaps a glass of wine with dinner on occasion, but his reliance on sugary treats and refined carbohydrates was a subtle, insidious form of self-indulgence that would eventually catch up with him. The news came unexpectedly during a routine checkup with his longtime physician, Dr. Albright. The blood tests revealed slightly elevated liver enzymes, ALT, AST, and GGT, indicators that something was amiss within David's liver. Dr. Albright, a seasoned professional with a warm and reassuring demeanor, ordered an ultrasound to investigate further. The results confirmed his suspicions. David had stage 2, fatty liver disease, or NAFLD, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition characterized by an excessive buildup of fat in the liver despite the absence of significant alcohol consumption. The diagnosis struck David like a bolt from the blue. He was, in his own words, completely flabbergasted. He led a relatively sedentary life, yes, but he wasn't a drinker, a smoker, or someone who engaged in any overtly unhealthy behaviors. How could this be? Dr. Albright patiently explained the intricacies of NAFLD, emphasizing that it was often linked to factors other than alcohol abuse, most notably the excessive consumption of sugar-refined carbohydrates and the cumulative effects of years of less than optimal eating habits. He painted a picture of David's liver, overburdened and struggling to process the constant influx of sugars and refined carbohydrates, gradually accumulating fat as a consequence. The doctor's words resonated deeply with David. He recalled the countless cookies he had consumed over the years, the sugary sodas he had occasionally indulged in, and the processed foods that had become a staple in his diet due to their convenience. He realized that his seemingly harmless habits had over time conspired to undermine his liver's health. Leaving Dr. Albright's office, David felt a mixture of shocked concern and a growing determination to take control of his health. He knew that he couldn't simply ignore the diagnosis. He had to act decisively to reverse the damage and prevent the condition from progressing. He resolved to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to learn everything he could about NAFLD, and to implement the necessary lifestyle changes to restore his liver to optimal health. His meticulous nature, once applied to accounting ledgers, now focused on the complexities of human metabolism. David plunged headfirst into the world of medical research, scouring online databases, reading scientific articles, and consulting with nutritionists. He sought to understand the underlying mechanisms of NAFLD and to identify the most effective strategies for reversing its course. He discovered the crucial role of insulin resistance in the development of NAFLD, learning how excessive sugar and refined carbohydrate consumption could lead to a chronic elevation of insulin levels, forcing the liver to convert excess glucose into fat. He learned about the benefits of intermittent fasting, a dietary approach that involved cycling between periods of eating and voluntary fasting, allowing the liver to rest and repair itself. He explored the concept of autophagy, a cellular process that involved the breakdown and removal of damaged cells and cellular components, a process that could be stimulated by fasting. He meticulously documented his findings in a series of notebooks, filling them with diagrams, charts, and summaries of his research. He felt like a detective piecing together clues to solve the mystery of his own body. David's research led him to a profound understanding of the interconnectedness of diet, lifestyle, and health. He realized that his previous dietary choices, while seemingly innocuous, had created a cascade of metabolic imbalances that had ultimately culminated in fatty liver disease. Armed with this knowledge, he resolved to make radical changes to his diet and lifestyle. He began with intermittent fasting, a dietary strategy that appealed to his structured nature. He started with the 16-8 pattern, restricting his eating window to 8 hours per day and fasting for the remaining 16 hours. He found that this approach allowed him to enjoy his meals without feeling deprived, while still providing his liver with ample time to rest and recover. After a few weeks of adjusting to the 16-8 pattern, David experimented with one meal a day, OMAD, a more restrictive form of intermittent fasting that involved consuming all of his daily calories in a single meal. He reasoned that the longer fasting periods would provide even greater benefits for his liver, allowing it to focus on repair and regeneration without being constantly burdened with processing food. He approached OMAD with caution, carefully monitoring his energy levels and ensuring that he was consuming a balanced and nutrient-rich meal. Occasionally, and only after careful consideration, and with the guidance of Dr. Albright, David experimented with 42-hour fasts. These extended fasting periods were designed to further stimulate autophagy and promote liver detoxification. He understood that these longer fasts were not for everyone and that they required careful preparation and monitoring. He made sure to stay hydrated, to listen to his body's signals, and to break the fast gradually with easily digestible foods. The goal of intermittent fasting in all its variations was to provide David's liver with extended periods of rest and recovery, allowing it to shed the excess fat and restore its normal function. Simultaneously with his intermittent fasting regimen, David embarked on a comprehensive overhaul of his diet. He made a firm decision to eliminate all refined sugars, sugary drinks, and processed fruit juices from his diet. He understood that these foods were a major contributor to his fatty liver, and that their elimination was essential for his recovery. He banished white sugar, brown sugar, and high fructose corn syrup from his pantry, replacing them with natural sweeteners like stevia and monk fruit, which had minimal impact on blood sugar levels. He eliminated sodas, energy drinks, and bottled fruit juices, opting instead for pure water, natural mineral water, and occasionally herbal teas. He came to view every gram of sugar, especially fructose, as an extra burden for his liver, a challenge that he was determined to avoid. He recognized the insidious nature of added sugars lurking in unexpected places, like sausage dressings and processed foods. He became a meticulous label reader, scrutinizing every ingredient list for hidden sources of sugar. He learned to appreciate the subtle sweetness of whole unprocessed foods, like fruits and vegetables, which provided natural sugars along with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber. David also drastically reduced his consumption of fast-absorbing carbohydrates, such as white bread, white rice pasta, and commercial noodles. He understood that these foods caused rapid spikes in blood sugar and insulin levels, contributing to insulin resistance and promoting fat storage in the liver. He replaced these refined carbohydrates with slow-digesting, fiber-rich alternatives, like brown rice, quinoa, sweet potatoes, whole oats, and fresh vegetables. These complex carbohydrates provided a sustained release of energy, preventing rapid blood sugar fluctuations and reducing insulin surges, a core factor in reversing fatty liver. He rediscovered the joy of cooking, experimenting with new recipes that highlighted the natural flavors of whole unprocessed foods. He learned to prepare delicious and satisfying meals using nutrient-rich ingredients, avoiding the temptation of processed and refined foods. He found that cooking was not only a healthy activity, but also a creative outlet, a way to express his passion for food and his commitment to his well-being. The first few weeks of David's dietary transformation were challenging. He experienced fatigue as his blood sugar and insulin levels recalibrated. His body, accustomed to a steady stream of sugar and refined carbohydrates, protested the sudden change. He also faced mental challenges from giving up his favorite comfort foods. The cravings for cookies and sugary snacks were intense, testing his willpower and resolve. He persevered, reminding himself of the long-term benefits of his new lifestyle. He sought support from Eleanor, who encouraged him and helped him stay on track. He found that the cravings gradually subsided as his body adapted to the new dietary pattern. To further support his liver's health, David incorporated healthy fats into his diet. He consumed avocados, salmon, olive oil, and free-range eggs, all rich in essential fatty acids that promoted liver function and reduced inflammation. He understood that not all fats were created equal, and that choosing healthy fats was crucial for his overall well-being. He avoided trans fats found in processed foods. At first, David hesitated about adding red meat back into his diet. For years, he had heard warnings that red meat might harm the liver and raise his cholesterol. But through his research, he discovered that not all red meat is created equal. The real danger came from heavily processed meats like bacon sausages, deli cuts loaded with preservatives, sodium, and harmful additives. These were the types of meat that truly burdened the liver. But high-quality grass-fed beef was different. Grass-fed beef was naturally rich in choline, methionine, and cysteine, powerful nutrients that his liver desperately needed to break down fat and build glutathione, the liver's master antioxidant. This type of beef also provided highly absorbable iron, vitamin B12, and essential minerals, all without the damaging additives found in processed meats. By choosing small portions of grass-fed beef, along with plenty of vegetables, healthy fats, and fiber, David gave his liver the exact building blocks it needed to repair and regenerate. David also recognized the importance of physical activity in reversing fatty liver disease. He increased his light aerobic activity, embarking on brisk 45-minute morning walks. He found that these walks not only helped him burn calories and lose weight, but also improved his mood, and reduce stress. He enjoyed the fresh air, the sunshine, and the opportunity to connect with nature. Occasionally, he incorporated HIIT high-intensity interval training sessions into his routine twice a week with a certified personal trainer. These intense workouts helped him boost his fat burning and improve his cardiovascular health. He understood the importance of balancing exercise with rest and recovery, allowing his body time to adapt and rebuild. He consulted with his trainer to develop a personalized exercise plan that was safe and effective for his age and fitness level. Recognizing the potential impact of environmental toxins on his liver health, David gradually switched to organic foods, especially those on the Dirty Dozen list, a list of fruits and vegetables that are known to contain high levels of pesticide residues. He understood that organic foods were not necessarily superior in terms of nutrient content, but that they reduced his exposure to harmful chemicals. He also eliminated plastic containers in cooking, opting instead for glass and stainless steel alternatives. He invested in a whole house water filtration system to remove contaminants from his drinking water. He recognized that these environmental changes were an investment in his long-term health and well-being. After 6 months of diligent effort and unwavering commitment, David returned to Dr. Albright for a follow-up appointment. He had lost 8 kilograms, 17.6 pounds. His waistline had reduced by 10 centimeters, about 4 inches. And most importantly, his liver enzymes had returned to normal. He felt energized, clear-minded, and enjoyed deep restorative sleep. His doctor happily confirmed that his liver had fully recovered. Dr. Albright, impressed by David's remarkable progress, congratulated him on his dedication and perseverance. He emphasized that David's success was a testament to the power of lifestyle changes in reversing chronic diseases. David, overwhelmed with relief and gratitude, reflected on his journey. He had faced challenges, overcome obstacles, and emerged stronger and healthier than ever before. He had learned valuable lessons about the interconnectedness of diet, lifestyle, and health. He had discovered the remarkable capacity of his body to heal itself when given the right conditions. As he left Dr. Albright's office, David realized that his journey was not over. He had committed himself to maintaining his healthy lifestyle for the rest of his life. He knew that he had to remain vigilant, to continue to prioritize his health, and to never return to his old habits. He had transformed his life, not just for himself, but also for Eleanor. He wanted to share many more years with her, enjoying their retirement to the fullest. He smiled, knowing that he had not only healed his liver, but had also discovered a newfound appreciation for life. David's story became an inspiration to others. He shared his experience with friends, family, and neighbors, encouraging them to take control of their health. He volunteered at a local community center, leading workshops on healthy eating and lifestyle choices. He became an advocate for preventive health care, emphasizing the importance of early detection and proactive intervention. He realized that his illness had been a catalyst for positive change, not only in his own life, but also in the lives of others. One evening, while sitting on the porch with Eleanor watching the sunset, David reflected on his journey. He had faced a daunting challenge, but he had emerged victorious. He had learned valuable lessons, transformed his life, and discovered a newfound appreciation for health and well-being. He turned to Eleanor, took her hand, and said, "Sometimes, when you're forced to change, you discover how amazingly your body can heal itself." Eleanor smiled, squeezed his hand and replied, "And you, my dear David, have shown us all the power of determination and the beauty of a healthy life." The suburban landscape, once a backdrop to a comfortable, predictable existence, now represented a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the extraordinary capacity of the human body to heal. David's meticulously kept garden, his orderly library, and his carefully planned days now reflected a deeper understanding of life's intricate balance, a balance he had worked tirelessly to restore one healthy choice at a time. Health 2660. Thanks you for listening. We'll see you in the next video, and until then, be kind to yourself.